hatred, terror, and come to the real business, how to ensure the life, the safety, and the future of our children. Because of it, I believe that what Israel should do and can do and contribute to meet this proposal is to renew the relations or the negotiations rather with the Palestinian Authority. We were negotiating with them for quite a while, and I think the gap was narrowed. And I do believe it's a bridgeable gap. We need a little bit of ingenuity, a little bit of fresh ideas, but it can be bridged. We shouldn't put aside the investment we made already in making peace with the Palestinian people. Then again, parallel to it, we have to try and see if it is possible, and I believe there are good reasons for everybody, to go for a regional peace. Things have changed in the region itself. There is a new confrontation in the region between a country that wants to achieve hegemony over all countries, all other countries, and the other countries don't want to be subjected to the wish of another people. There is a change in the world, there is a change in the United States, and all of us are sick and tired with the present situation. Furthermore, even the region will have to go not just for regional peace, but for world peace. It's three levels. Today, most of the problems are national or binational, but all of the solutions are global. When the President of the United States asked me what can America do for Israel, I told him just one thing: be a great President of the United States. Because the problem of Israel, and permit me to say of the Arab world as well, are world problems. We cannot solve it individually, and we cannot solve it even just regionally. Let me give a few examples. The Middle East is going to double its population in the coming 10 years. That's for sure. But we don't have water for the existing people in the Middle East. Unless we shall produce sources and answers how to double the amount of water, our children will be condemned to poverty, to dryness, to sickness. And I do believe the resources are available. Actually, when you ask yourself, what is science and what is technology? The answer is, it is fighting blindness. The resources are available in nature. What we lack is our capacity to understand them, to see them, to go in their depth and width and potential. Every generation, where we open a little bit more our eyes, we see more. You know, I don't take it that you have to teach the children the past in great details, otherwise they'll repeat the same mistakes that were done before it. The past is a mistake. There are no past mistakes. The past was made of people who couldn't see well. Then we introduced glasses and we introduced microscopes and telescopes, but they too don't see it. Neither the full space, nor the depth of the oceans, nor the delicate composition of our brain. And we don't have a choice but to try and prepare a generation how to open the eyes and see more of the nature, because the answers are in the nature. You know, Israel is a small country. We don't have much land. We don't have much water. We don't have oil. We're a little bit like Jordan. The Middle East is divided into two sorts of countries: the oily countries and the holy countries. Jordan and us are totally holy. We don't have enough oil. We don't have enough water. So we have to live on our brains, on our efforts. And since we cannot become neither a market nor a producer, we can and should become a world laboratory to introduce new ideas. I think that in the coming 10 years, though the present crisis is basically financial, the answer to the crisis is not a financial one. The answer to the crisis is a scientific and then a technological one. Where even when the pockets are empty, that's not a reason that our brains should be empty. After all, it's not the pockets that enriches the brains. It is the brains that enriches the pockets. I can see 4 or 5 new generations coming, new industries coming up. Water, energy, stem cell, teaching. I think, for example, that the largest industry in the coming years to come, maybe 10 years, maybe less, maybe more a little bit, is the stem cell. The stem cell means that we are going to produce spare parts for the human body. I don't know anybody that will not buy spare parts to heal himself, to improve himself. If you'll take stem cell in Israel, for example, we have developed already a heart made of stem cells, which means a heart made of part of your own skin. It's becoming organic. It's a great change. Or take water. What we are trying to do in water is, first of all, to produce this cheapest water on Earth. What is the cheapest water on Earth? The water that you save. We are saving 50% in irrigation by 2 systems. One is deep irrigation, a system of irrigation that saves 20% of the water, and the new one, an electronic control over the water. To say it in simple terms, we attach a computer to a tree. The computer checks the dryness of the tree and keeps that the tree will not become drunken. So you won't drink water endlessly. This saves another 30%. But then, on top of it, we are looking for trees and vegetables that are not so thirsty, that they can keep a diet. And then we recycle. And then we desalinate. And also desalinization demands a great deal of equipment and a great deal of size. We can miniaturize it by nanotechnology. And then again, the 4th industry will be, in my judgment, teaching. We don't have enough teachers. And the teachers are not up to date, because when they have terminated their studies, say several years ago, the world in the meantime has changed. And you'll find that the students at school are as knowledgeable and even more informed than their teachers. And there are tensions in the class. And you cannot be lagging behind. And I say, ladies and gentlemen, no matter if you're Arabs or Jews or Christians, all of us have children. We must be responsible to the children. If I would think it's impossible to do, okay, what can you do? Let your children have a terrible time. I have to stop. If we can, let's do it. Now, we cannot do it individually. You cannot answer the energy alone, because the problem of energy is that oil cannot be produced. Oil can be discovered. Oil is being produced by history. It may take 1,000,000 years before you produce oil. But on the other hand, you can produce energy from the sun and from the wind and from the space. And we can do it together. Because energy, like water, is being wasted by overuse, is being wasted by the wrong distribution of day and night, of mountain and plain. Why not? Now, I don't suggest, I want to make it clear, that the economic side, which is a must, should replace the political side, which is a necessity, both of them. One should support the other and bring a message of hope and courage. And you know what? I'm not very much impressed by all the speeches and the details. I heard that the Secretary of the Arab League spoke about it. I can answer the Secretary of the Arab League in very nice and brief way. I know 1 hour in history, just 1 hour, that changed the whole situation in the Middle East. And all ideologies and all negotiations were pushed aside and forgotten. This hour was when President Sadat took a plane from Cairo to Jerusalem. It took him 1 hour. In this hour, everything was changed in the Middle East. And a man who was a great ideologue, like the late Prime Minister Begin, changed his mind. The people changed their minds. The Egyptians changed their minds. And if we will try to mobilize lawyers to negotiate, I know the lawyers will have their share. I don't know what will happen to us. We have to look at the whole picture with a vision, with a hope, with a strength, and compare everything, not us to the Arabs or the Arabs to us, but all of us to our children, without any difference. And let's forget the details. They are unimportant. They will be forgotten and pushed aside. And by the way, when I speak, I think His Majesty mentioned 57 states. We are one state. Each of the 58 states must take into consideration the basic necessities of all the others. When I'm talking about the 57 states, we shouldn't domain their life. We should behave with respect and understanding and hope. And I don't suggest to insult anybody. And the same I expect from the 57 countries to behave toward Israel the same way. If somebody wants to finish Israel or wipe out Israel, why talk? For example, I don't believe there will be any Israeli that will cooperate with the Iranian idea to wipe out Israel from Earth. It's nonsense. It's not arms. It's policies. It's understanding. It's basic calls of our religions and spirit and tradition and future. And I do believe the gaps are rather small, and the potential is great. Don't hang on the gaps. Give a chance to the hope. I want to say, I know they say 2 states for 2 nations. The present government of Israel has announced that they are going to abide to the commitments of the past government, the predecessor, their predecessor. And the previous government has adopted the roadmap. In the roadmap, there is a clear reference to the 2-state solution. There's nothing new about it. But there are also other conditions. It's not just a declaration of 2 states. We have to provide security. We have to stop terror. We have to develop a certain system of cooperation. Yes, but the principle is there. Now let's decide if we want to waste our time on polemics. We can do it. It's a waste of time. And my goal, Mr. Chairman, is to take and answer this great opportunity, and with a vision, almost a prophetic vision, to move ahead so our children, all children, Arab, Jewish, Christians, Europeans, will have a better luck than our generation or the generations before us. Thank you.